It's that time of the year again, ladies and gentlemen. Christmas time is a time of joy, of giving, and of love. And the same applies to most Christmas music. Most popular contemporary Christmas songs are over-happy, sappy songs about love that give you the gift of being completely unavoidable for what now seems like the months leading up to Christmas. We're coming up on Christmas time, of course, unless YouTube is recommending this video to you in May, which that would be pretty funny. And what better way to celebrate May than talking about everyone's favorite subject, Christmas music. Now, Christmas music has existed probably since, right around 0 BC, but it's changed quite a bit since then. You have the classic, older, sort of hymnal, very religious songs, which have been passed down through generations, many, of course, originating from before the times of recorded music, through to today's over-sterilized pop Christmas anthems. Now, I want to specifically focus on the pop Christmas songs, because so many people seem to hate them. I mean, I don't know if I've met more individuals who are universally opposed to anything like they are opposed to Christmas music. And look, I can understand why. They are unavoidable for the weeks leading up to Christmas. But also, who really wants to hear Mike Love make a Christmas covers record when you're shopping in the Bathworks and looking for some new hand soap? Nina? The subject on the board today is a Fairytale of New York, ladies and gentlemen, and let me tell you why. Not only is it a Christmas song that contains a fundamental element that nearly all others forget, but it is also an example of a certified classic that has been completely overlooked here in America. Now, I know this song is massive in Europe, at least that's what I'm told, and please let me know if this is actually the case, because I hear stories of it topping every Christmas chart for the past, I don't know how many years in the UK. And while I'm sure this is true, in America, this song might as well not exist. And the reason that we're talking about the Pogues today is because I believe A Fairytale of New York is the most authentic Christmas song ever written. A lot of Christmas songs share a lot of general themes, right? Often there's talk of love, community, gifts, or giving in general. Smash Mouth, of course, the gift of rock. Travel is often a big one, the theme of coming home for the holidays. But I would argue none of them are actually the central theme of Christmas, which I believe is hope. Now, Shane MacGowan was a British-born Irishman who, like so many before him, was very much infatuated with the Irish experience in America. The concept of immigration, moving in an attempt to better your life, but also the idyllic view much of the world had of America, viewing places like New York or California as these sort of dreamlands. And A Fairytale of New York is a lyrical study of these concepts. The song's title came from a novel of the same name, written by J.P. Donlevy. And while the book shares little in common with the song, the sentiment is just perfect. But the song did not necessarily come easy. The song was intended as a duet, and Elvis Costello took away Kate O'Riordan, leaving the band without a producer, bassist, or a female vocalist. Now, as troubled as this may have seemed at the time, it actually created the perfect storm when producer Steve Lillywhite and his wife Christy McCall came into the picture. Now, Lillywhite had been known for producing some of the more off-kilter, new wave records of the time for bands like XTC and Peter Gabriel, making him perfect for the band's direction, while Christy was quite a proficient singer. And it was pretty perfect. Sure, the band might have needed some tuning to fit the more sophisticated arrangement of the song that they were not necessarily used to concerning some of the band's earlier work, but it was finally ready. And while the musical elements of the song are perfectly deserving of their own dive, as a Christmas song, the lyrics are what truly makes it special. Taken purely at face value, the song describes a relationship between two characters, right? From reminiscing the first days of romance, to an argument and sort of the problems and the faults starting to show up, and then to an awfully nondescript ending that leaves much up to interpretation. Now, this view alone is wonderfully evocative of a relationship, just like so many similar love songs would. But what makes this song special, what takes it to another level, is the depth. Now, these aren't just any old random characters you could pull off the street. These are quite obviously Irish immigrants, and this is their story. And we can rationally assume this based off of the context of the song and, of course, MacGowan's influences. But even the song itself gives us some clues. Even the use of the phrase Happy Christmas, which is most predominantly used in the UK, is used in place of Merry Christmas, which is much more the American tradition. Now, sure, this alone would add some context behind the characters of the story, but it also helps illuminate the fairy tale that is being told here. New York needs the fairy tale to be New York. People need to see importance in the city. They need to believe it is something special and unique and desirable, despite the fact that the reality of New York for most people isn't anywhere near as special as it seems. Now, New York is sort of sold to us as a fairy tale, but so is the story behind the relationship of these characters. I mean, the woman in the story immediately intertwines her love for the character with her dream of stardom. When you first took my hand on a cold Christmas Eve, you promised me Broadway was waiting for me. It isn't just that they met and fell in love. The concept of stardom and Broadway is entangled with her love of the main character. And the same goes with him. You were pretty, queen of New York City. He's also equating his love for her with the city itself. They realize that New York really isn't what they dreamed it would be, at the same time that they see flaws in each other. But it's the final verse to the song that brings us all the way back to where we started and reminds us of the central themes here. The first two verses ends with the lines, "I turned my face away and dreamed about you," and "I can see a better time when all our dreams come true." And the song ends, "Can't make it out alone. I've built my dreams around you." In this way, A Fairytale of New York touches on the hope that you have when you start a relationship, the hope that sparks exploration and immigration to a new land, and the hope that is at the center of Christmas, the hope for a better tomorrow. In the same way that Christmas is religiously centered on the hope born from the birth of Jesus, and even to the, contemporary hope of a child, that Santa brings them a special toy. It's a song about so much that also happens to be about Christmas, and that's what makes it a classic. But it is because of the layers, the depth, and the range of the song that makes it authentic. This is a song that strikes at the core of humanity, and reminds us that, just like in the story in the song, we don't know how this story ends. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you have enjoyed the video. I pretty much wrote this whole thing last year and fully intended on making it, releasing it, and then Shane MacGowan tragically died, of course, as so many of us remember, and I wanted to have a little bit of a respect on that front. But most importantly, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. I promise something big is coming, and you'll probably want to subscribe, or else you're gonna miss it, and then you're gonna be sad that you missed it, and I'd hate for that to happen. Or maybe you would be better off listening to Mike Love's Christmas album.